I'm Sharon Scott Wilson with Resort Trades Media Group. And today we have with us Ben Coleman Cool. His company, Ben's Big Deal, is all about loyalty programs. And while Resort Trades Media Group serves specifically B2B professionals in the timeshare industry, I think this is useful information not only for personal use, but also to advise your clients or guests, owners, members, or whatever. So, Ben, would you introduce yourself more properly and let us know how you got in this business?
Well, Sharon, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here and talk to Resorts Trade. I think your audience out there doesn't realize how valuable their guests that are coming in that are using loyalty programs, but many of them don't understand how to go about using them or redeeming them the right way. I think many times when we think about how to make a trip better, we think about how we can save money. And that's usually always one of the factors that you bring into play. And that's actually how I started, Sharon. I was just trying to, I was a business traveler for many years. All I wanted to do was do one international trip a year. My family's from Thailand. We wanted to go there once a year. And then we wanted to also take at least one domestic trip initially. That's actually how I started. Like a lot of people, we wanted to do it, but we didn't want to come home with a bunch of debt and put on a bunch of credit cards. And
Yeah.
I saw that that's what happens every time. We spend the rest of the year paying off the debt, and then we're on the next trip again, and we just kind of do this cycle. And I said to myself, there has to be a way to do it because I saw other people do this using their points and their miles, and I said I wanted to figure that out. So about 2013, this is kind of how what happened to me, Sharon. I was a business traveler and I was choosing the least expensive way to get from one place to one place. So I flew American, United, Southwest. I'd go wherever the least expensive way possible. But what I found was that because I was switching off so many different ones, I never had enough points to make a redemption. And then I never had enough flights on one airline to actually earn what they call elite status. So I was always paying for the bag fee. I was always paying to pick a seat. I was always have to pay to find the extra legroom. And then you don't want to spend all those things because when you do all those things, you end up paying double what the price of the ticket is. So you end up sitting in the back in the middle seat, and now you're crunched between two people, shoulder to shoulder, and then fighting for the armrest. You know how that goes.
Yes, absolutely. And
So
not to mention the ability to book bonus miles at kind of the last moment, you
yeah,
know?
that's that, so here's my one of my first tips. I think if you want to actually get a very nice ticket where the prices are lower, here's my advice. You can use the award chart of a lot of the airlines, or they don't really have a chart now, it's mostly dynamic, but the best time to book them is about if you're a planner and you're like, I'm on a school schedule of my kids and you can only travel at certain holiday times. I would suggest you book out a year in advance. So right now we're looking at spring break. I would be looking at spring break of 2027 right now, and just
Yeah.
book it anyway. Because you know what? If it turns out you can't do it, the worst thing you can do is cancel it, and it's a free cancellation. Most of the programs do not charge you anything. You can completely do a free cancellation. So I would suggest that's the first time. The second time of the year that's really good, as you just mentioned, Sharon, is all those people who booked a year ago, they realize they can't fly now, and they're within that 2 week mark. They cancel their ticket. All those inventory comes back in, and then you can go in and book it last minute. So if you ever have to do a last minute booking and you're trying to find a cheap rate and all you see is the cash rate going up, look at the point side. The point side is usually how airlines offload all their inventory without damaging their prices. I saw somebody ask the other day online, does the price ever go down as you get closer, like in case they can't fill it up? They won't because they're hoping, which happens a lot, the business traveler is booking their trip last minute and they want to get that premium, that market right there, the last minute, because that's when business travelers travel last minute because they have to. But they'll give away a lot of their seats to award tickets with points last minute, and you can that is your hack to come in and get a great deal.
Oh, that sounds very good information. So, how do you get clients, or what do you do for your clients
Yeah.
specifically?
So a lot of people realize they come in. I kind of have two types of client. I have some clients who are like really curious about this, Sharon, and they want to learn how to do it for themselves so they can do it all the time. So I have those type of class. I teach folks every single week. I have a weekly class where I teach beginner classes as well as I have intermediate where they already have 5 or 6 credit cards that they've earned and they want to know how to be able to manage their half a million to a million points. Then I have new people come in and they're like, I just want to learn how to, take my family to Japan, a family of four. And some of the times they want to do business class and I show them how to do that as well. So they can get $4,000 tickets for just literally 60, 70,000 miles, which is what we call the Saver Rewards when they're on discount. So I teach them how to find it, when to find it, where to go, and I do that. And then I have the other kind of client who's like, I'm a busy professional. I don't have time to do this. Ben, I have all these points. Can you just book it for me? So I have a done for you service where I'm kind of like your travel agent, but I do it for points and they do it for miles.
Oh, that's really neat. Takes the worry off. And I'm
Yeah.
terrible at organizing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If you like to learn how to do it yourselves, a lot of people who are DIYers and they want to do everything themselves, I have a class for that. But many professionals out there, their time is more valuable than learning, because you can learn it, but it would take you, be perfectly honest, Sharon, it'll take you about 3 hours a day every day, probably for about 6 months to a year before because they dived in deep into it, because you got to learn about airline programs, hotel programs. But I want to give people an idea that it may sound complicated. It's as complicated as you want it to be. But I'll give you one tip that is so, so important. Many times people collect the wrong points. When I mean by the wrong points means they're collecting points that are not even worth 1 cent. Your point, a lot of people ask, well, how much is a point worth? It's 1 cent per point. So if you have 100,000 points, okay, let's say you got a new credit card and they give you 100,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points. How much is that worth, Ben? I just say this. Here's a quick, easy math that's going to make you look like a genius. If you have 100,000 points, drop the last two zeros from that. You got 1,000 now. That's how many dollars it's worth. So 100,000 points is worth $1,000. So 500,000 points, that's worth $5,000. That is a quick and easy math to do it. When you do it with the wrong program, you're going to realize that you won't even get that. You'll get less than that. So one of the things I usually recommend people is not to use them for hotels, to use them for airlines. That's the best thing. So for those audience that's listening to this right now and going, is that competing against my own timeshare program? No, it's not, because your folks need to get to your property, and if they learn how to use the points, their airfare, that can be covered. So helping your clients understand that part is so, so valuable. And that's one of the things that I've done with Jonathan at VOA is try to help those folks who buy a timeshare and are new owners over the last couple of years, how to learn how to use their mileage program so that they can be able to get to their properties. And that makes it so much better because it goes beyond now the value of just the vacation, but how to get to their vacation, I think is just as important.
And Ben, we might also, for any viewers who aren't familiar with Jonathan, Jonathan Stoker operates Vacation Ownership Advisor,
Worldwide.
VOA. And maybe, Ben, you could talk a little bit about that program.
Yeah. So what Jonathan is doing right now at VOA, one of the goals is that he found that a lot of folks, after they buy it, there's a big drop off. The industry really focuses much on the pre-sale, but once we get to the post-sale piece of it, that's really where we find people have, buyer's remorse, or they're second guessing, or they go talk to their friends and their neighbors and they tell them they just made a bad decision. One of the things that Jonathan wants to make sure with VOA is that Vacation VOA is focused on the post-sale retention, the relationship, not just calling them to do another upsell, but to truly make sure that they solidify that they love
Understand what they've got
and
and
understand what they got. Yeah,
how to
because
use it.
if they understand what they got, then they're going to continue to be an owner. They're going to continue paying maintenance fees. They're going to continue to be happy, satisfied. They're going to be happy to upgrade. They're going to be looking forward to it. They'll be calling about those things. And so those are things we found that clients are VOA, their retention rate went through the roof because they understood how to use it.
I have a question for you because in the early days, shall we say, the 90s, resorts almost uniformly had either email or physical newsletters. And they would supposedly address the retention idea. Are you finding that less common?
Yeah, I think nowadays we're used to getting emails and campaigns. I feel like that's usually what you find nowadays. You don't find, really, one thing that's not happening, that thing that VOA does, is they pick up the phone and they talk to the client. That's a revolutionary concept nowadays in the world of emails, is picking up the phone and building that relationship with them, and having someone on the other end who actually listens and cares about what your vacation is trying to be and what it's supposed to look like. So to be able to find a system and a program that is really unique, and it's really something that I think the industry is looking forward to and needing.
Yeah. Oh, most certainly. I guess how do you and Jonathan, are you part of the VOA organization
We're,
or
we're partners. We're partners. So his VOA
affiliated?
handles, yeah, VOA handles the post sale of how to use their program, obviously the vacation club program and their points, and make sure that they're able to understand how to use it. So it's not competing with like customer service. What we're doing is we're calling them in the first week, 2 weeks, so that we can be able to retain the customer, make sure that they overcome any concerns, make sure they understand what they have, and then how to go about making that first booking. We found that once they make their first booking, they're sold on it because they go, this worked as described, and they're happy. And then what I do is I come in on the back end after that and say, let's set up a call. Let's talk about what kind of points program you have. So we take a look at the whole agenda. Do they have Marriott points? Do they have Delta, American, United? What does their portfolio look like? We're going to intake that information in, and then we're going to have a whole dashboard for them so that they can actually will be able to see now what kind of vacations they can put together. Because a lot of times clients are like, I would like to go here. What can I use my points with? Can I use it to go somewhere? And once they empowered that they can use those points to go somewhere, they're more inclined to make a booking.
I have to sign up with you because my we discovered the other day my husband has like 900,000 points with American Express,
Yeah.
and uh, we've just kind of let him build up and probably spent cash where we should have been using that mileage.
Sharon, when I hear people that say they have 900,000 or a million points, you know why people have that many points? I'll tell you from my experience, is because people don't want to make a mistake with their points. They don't know how to redeem them. They know they're valuable, they hear that it's valuable, but they don't really know how to make that right redemption. And so I will say this, it is better you use them now rather than wait, because the points become less valuable as time goes by, because the airlines over the years, they will increase the price of the ticket. There was a time, Sharon, where first class was 50,000. Today you see 80, 90, sometimes 110,
Yeah,
120,000. Yeah. So if you wait, they do not grow like interest in a bank account or a savings account. They just
no.
go down. So
And
for those
plus
who are
the
listening right
airline
now,
or the airlines or other facilities, they can change the rules on you, you
yeah,
know.
they usually will let you know, but I mean the reality is this: the longer you wait, don't look at like an investment account. Earning
Right.
millions and millions of points is good, but you got to burn them. We call it earning and burning. You got to go use them, because if you don't, then they're just going to get devalued by the airline. They're just going to kind of take back the value. So, but I will say 900,000 points is worth $9,000 for the average person. But Sharon, I can just tell you, if you do it the way I do it and I show my clients, that 9,000 could be worth $27,000. 27, meaning you could take uh literally, I kid you not, you could literally take 10 to 15 first class tickets with
Well,
that.
what
Now,
what
internationally, yeah. I mean,
okay.
business class as well. You could do business class, a little bit less expensive, but you could totally do that if you learn how to do it the right way.
So what is the charge for your beginner class and through intermediate or advanced? And what do you charge for regular customer service?
Yeah. So if you're talking about making a booking for a client, I charge basically $250 each way per person. And that includes the finding. I walk them through how to make the booking, and we make that booking for them. And this is usually a ticket which would cost $4,000. So it's my charge, their taxes, and then I show them how to use their points. The other thing I do too is if they're trying to come and learn how to do it, I'll say this: if they come to learn how to do it, it's going to take a little bit more time, but I teach in a group format, so you get to learn from other people as well in a small group. I'm talking usually 5 to 10 people at max, and they get to ask questions that they want, and I take them through a 4 day class, and it starts at $400 and it goes all the way up to like $800. It depends on, you know, if they want recordings and they need more, if they just want to come in, one time, they can as well. But I make it affordable for them because I want to make sure everyone has a chance to be able to learn how to do that. And then once they learn how to do it, Sharon, like it's yours. Now you can make redemptions. I mean, we're talking like, imagine investing $400, $800, and then now you learn how to make redemptions of $4,000 for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Wow.
And I also show you how to use the right credit cards, how to choose a right credit card for your lifestyle, because there's over 100 different credit cards to choose from.
Yeah.
And understanding where a client's at will help them understand the right card for you. Because here's the thing, Sharon, if you like to eat out a lot, you should get a certain kind of credit card, like an Amex Gold card, or you should be getting a Chase Sapphire or a Citi Premier card if you're eating out a lot. But if you go, you know what, Ben, I drive a lot for fuel. Then there's a different card, maybe Amex Business Gold for that. And he said, Ben, I need a card for lounge access, and I live in this city. Then maybe an Amex Platinum is better versus a Chase Sapphire Reserve. So I kind of have to ask and find out what it is. So credit card is such a personal thing. I need to actually kind of understand what my client is before we make a recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that is that.
But
You told me I think I need this.
well, I'll say one thing about credit cards, since we're on the idea of credit cards right now. A lot of people are concerned about getting a credit card, like multiple credit cards, because they think it's going to be a bad thing for them. Like right now, today's tax day, right? We happen to be recording today on April
Oh,
15th, tax day, right? Can I tell you something? This 2 weeks ago, but even now, if you filed extension because you're not going to be able to file your taxes and you're filing extension today,
yeah.
do you know that you could pay your taxes with a credit card? You're allowed to do that. Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go. Why
Okay.
not?
Because a lot of brand new credit cards, when you first sign up for a credit card, a travel credit card, they give you a bonus that is unlike any other bonus you get when you sign up for a credit card, like at a store. Like when you go to like a department store or a clothing store, you're going to end up being offered a credit card and you get 15% off that purchase, right? This is a lot better. I'll just give you an idea, Sharon. You can get, instead of a bottle, a T-shirt or something like that. I remember when I was in college, they would give you a T-shirt if
Oh,
you
so
signed up for it.
exciting.
Remember? Nowadays, with the travel credit card, if you sign up for a travel credit card, they'll give you close to $500 or more for signing up for a credit card, which you can use for travel. Some of the credit cards, like the nicer ones, the higher end cards with the annual fee, they actually give you $1,000 bonus that you can use for your trip. So now you get an extra $1,000 of cash you can use for your trip. I mean, I've seen people use the bonus enough to pay. I run a trip to Thailand every year, Sharon, and I've had people who sign up with me. I said they can pay with credit card. Then I give them the link so that they sign up for the credit card because they know they're going to buy the trip with me anyway. So they
Yeah.
put the trip on the credit card and they earn all these points that they can use the points to fly to Thailand and back. And they didn't have to spend any money out of pocket. And all they had to do was to pay for the land piece of it. And then I show
Yeah.
them how to use the points for the hotels, because I'll usually pick a hotel for that they can use points as well. So sometimes they can do all those things if they'd like to, if they have that. And then that makes them click in their mind and go, oh, I can do this. And then now they're thinking, I can travel more. I want to stay more. I want to buy another timeshare. I want to, I need it. So those kind of things start to happen as well.
Wow. Well, and I had a small thought, Ben. A lot of people go to Thailand for cosmetic surgery.
Yeah.
And maybe if you found a surgeon there that wanted to uh, underwrite a program for you, you could help educate his, do some marketing for him and educate people on how to get there reasonably. And it'd be win-win for everybody.
That's actually a fantastic idea, Sharon. I think partnerships are
Yes.
really, really valuable. We never always think about how all those connections work, but it totally does. You know, one of the things I want to make mention, and I think we kind of talked about it earlier, was I said, credit cards are a tool. They can be good or they can be bad. Obviously, you don't want to carry a balance when you start to do this in order to get to maximize the value. And that's kind of my disclaimer whenever I say about getting a card. It's like you got to be good at paying it off because if you're carrying a balance and there's interest, that negates all the points you're going to earn. So if
Right.
you're the kind of person listening to this and go, I don't really like to sign for credit cards because you don't want to get in debt. I'm not advocating for debt. You can buy something and pay it off right away. You'll still keep the points. You don't lose the points when you pay it off. That's
Okay.
really important.
I I love it. Okay, Ben, maybe we can take this offline and discuss it further, but I am wondering if maybe we could arrange a trade to give you some uh, free advertising in resort trades in exchange for you giving discounts to attend your classes to new advertisers.
I would love to do that. I would love to do that for Resort Trade. If you're an advertiser for Resort Trade, I'd love to offer that to that group. Absolutely. That would be perfect. Yeah. I'd love to
Okay.
have the community. Here's the thing. I think folks who are trying to improve the value proposition to their clients, I think this is an important part of it. You're trying to figure out when you're sitting down with a client going, how can we make this affordable? I mean, that's the question all the time,
That
right?
could even be, a developer or the sales department could offer, or marketing really, could offer your services to new prospects as a premium.
Yeah. I mean, I do this also. I do a lot of corporate training. I did for IBM and other companies as well. More than happy to come in. If you have a sales team, if somebody's watching this and they said, I have a sales team, I want them to know because here's the thing, Sharon. If your people are better on the road, they're going to want to be on the road. I'll tell you this. I've had a company before where I worked, and they were so strict with their travel policy. I didn't even want to travel for them. Like it was too much of a pain because it was so uncomfortable. Do you understand when people travel, if they don't understand a lot of things I teach, here what happened? When you go to the airport, all you really do most of the time in the airport is wait in line.
Yeah.
You get up to the airport and you go, wait in line to check for your bag. Wait in line to get your ticket. Okay, once you get your ticket, go wait in line to go through security, right? Then they
Yeah.
have businesses now to walk you and get you faster in line. Then once you
Yeah.
get to security, then they're like, okay, if you want to go lounge, you got to go wait in line. Then you get out of the lounge and you go, you know what? Line up again to get on the plane. There's another line, right? And when you get
Right.
off the plane, there's another line to get off the plane. There's just a lot of line wait. God forbid you go get a Starbucks. You got to get in line for the Starbucks as well. So a lot of things I teach too is how to reduce the lines. There are ways you reduce the line. There's like lines for VIPs, or line if you for security. There's lines that you can get boarded first. Like there's ways to cut the line. And when they discover that, people go, "Oh, it's not so bad to travel." If I had to do it the old way, like the way most people do it, I would hate it. I mean, I would hate it. So there are so many things. There are some rental car companies, Sharon, that you don't even have to wait in line for the car. You literally go right to the parking lot and pick any car you want. They have programs like that,
Oh, I used to do that. I
right?
had a,
Right?
I had a job where I traveled at least twice a month and sometimes more. And so I was a Hertz Gold and I was a, you know, Gold
Presence,
on American and, well, what was it, America West, I think, before.
America West. Wow, you're bringing it back, Sharon.
I know.
America West still exists now.
Oh, I
It's called
thought they were
American.
totally absorbed by American.
No, well, the America West people run American.
Oh,
The
well,
people who run, and you know who runs United? The guy from America West. American and United is run by the old America West people.
oh, wow.
Yeah, they bought okay, so American West bought US Airways and then so they took over US Airways and then US Airways bought American, but they kept the American name. But the US America West people are the one who run it. And then one of the guys didn't get promoted, so he left and he got recruited by United. Now he runs United. So the United American people are all the America West people.
And you
And
know who else showed up on my radar the other day? Piedmont.
Oh,
I hadn't
wow.
heard from
Oh my
Piedmont
gosh.
in years.
Yeah, yeah. They were acquired too. I think they were acquired by American as well.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, here's the thing. In the end in the world is if we're in the business of travel, we're in the business of making vacations come true. I think it's important that we as professionals understand how it is. Like we should not be, like you're a lot of times you're gonna have conversations with your customers, and it would be helpful if you understood what they're talking about
Right.
and be helpful for them because then they understand that, okay, even though he does points and miles, they could be, because here's the thing. If you go into a client presentation, you'll have this. You'll have sometimes people come in and go, oh, I don't need a vacation club. I use my points miles. Honestly, my response would be like, the best way to use your points miles is actually for airfare, not for hotels. Hotels
Right.
is a terrible way to use it. I wouldn't say that to a client, but I would say that the more responsible way, and if they really understood that part of it, they would use it for airfare because that it really is the best way to use your points miles. And that to me is complementary to what the timeshare and the vacation ownership world is, which is use your points for the airfare and then stay at nice places with your
Yes,
vacation club.
your home away from home, your vacation home.
Exactly. And having points and miles now allows you to do more vacations, which I think is complementary. It's a conversation piece we don't ever really have with the client. I mean, I've been through many presentations. I never hear anyone who ever talks about that. Like it's complementary and it allows you to do it. And there's things with timeshares that you cannot do at the hotel. And, having a kitchen, having a washer dryer. The washer dryer sells my wife every single time.
Well, Ben, I sure have enjoyed talking to you, and I hope we could do this again sometime and maybe even delve a little deeper into specifics. But meanwhile, if someone wants to check you out, uh, I'm sure they could contact you at bensbigdeals.com.
That's
Or,
right. You can find me
oh,
also on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram, LinkedIn. You can find me, Ben's Big Deal. Also, you can also go to my website, Ben's Big Deal. So there's a lot of different ways that they can reach out to me.
and we'll put more details in the notes under the podcast. So uh, I appreciate it, and I wish you well. Happy travels. Where are you right now? I guess in LA.
I am in Los Angeles, but I speak at a lot of conferences. I'm heading to the Points Travel Festival in Toronto tonight. Tonight I'm
Oh,
leaving for Toronto, and I'll be speaking there about how to make the use out of communication with hotels. And then I'll be at CardCon and Frequent Travel University. So I'm starting like my speaking circuit tour this part of the year right now.
I'll bet. I'll bet. Well, don't wear yourself out and try and eat healthy if you can.
That's a really, really good point. That's true.
Challenge. Okay, dear. Well, thank you again, and I wish you well.
Thank you for
Um,
having me, Sharon. And once again, thank you so much.
oh, you're welcome.